The 2023 Women on Boards indicator increased by 3.7% in 1 year, reaching 23.3%, marking the highest percentage since 2018, as per the 2023 Women on Boards Annual Monitoring Report issued by AUC Egypt Women on Boards Observatory. The overall Women on Boards indicator has more than doubled in 5 years, increasing from 10% in 2019 to 23.3% in 2023. We are left with 6.7% to meet the 30% Women on Boards goal. Sustaining this increase pattern in the coming years will enable the overall indicator to reach the goal of 30% women on boards by 2026. The total number of women on boards improved positively, reaching 1,563 in 2023 compared to 1,320 in 2022, with a growth rate of 18%. The non-banking financial sector was the main contributor to the total number of women on boards, accounting alone for around 2/3 of 2023 total women on boards. The number of women on boards of EGX-listed companies increased significantly from 324 in 2022 to 425 in 2023, with a growth rate of 31.2%. The banking sector increased from 54 in 2022 to 59 in 2023, achieving an increase of 9.3%. The public enterprise companies slightly declined by only 1 woman between 2022 and 2023, with a negative growth rate of 2.3%, reaching 43 in 2023. The non-banking financial sector realized significant growth, increasing from 924 in 2022 to 1,072 in 2023, following a growth rate of 16%. The 2023 Women on Boards Annual Monitoring Report tracks the representation of women on the boards of EGX-listed companies, the banking sector, the public enterprise sector, and the non-banking financial sector supervised and regulated by the Financial Regulatory Authority, and identifies the gender gap to reach the 30% women on boards target by 2030. Progress in women on boards representation has been achieved across the 4 categories. The non-banking financial sector companies led with 25.2% women on boards in 2023, compared to 22% in 2022. The EGX-listed companies reached 21.7% in 2023, compared to 17.3% in 2022. The banking sector women on boards percentage also increased from 16.5% in 2022 to 18.7% in 2023. Finally, the public enterprise sector improved, achieving 12% in 2023 compared to 9.3% in 2022. The total gap covering the 4 categories followed a declining trend of almost half between 2020 and 2023. To achieve the 2030 target earlier than anticipated, the placement of women on boards has to be accelerated across the 4 categories. An estimated 455 women need to be placed on boards of companies and banks in the coming 7 years to meet the 30% goal by 2030, compared to 692 in 2022. 161 women in EGX-listed companies, 35 women in banks, 70 women in public enterprise companies, and 189 women in non-banking financial sector companies are needed to join boards until 2030. The 2023 distribution of companies and banks by number of women on boards exhibited transformation in structure, observing deviations towards the increase in the number of companies and banks with 2 women on board, accounting for almost half of EGX companies, banks, and non-banking financial sector, reaching 56.5%, 45.5%, and 49.5% respectively in 2023. This explains the decrease in the number and percentage of 0 women on board. From 2019 to 2023, banks and EGX-listed companies with 0 women on board have witnessed the lowest percentages, reaching 3% and 4.2% respectively, followed by the non-banking financial sector with 10.2% and the public enterprise companies with 54.8%. On the other hand, the percentage of 2 women on board representation was boosted between 2019 and 2023 across most categories, accounting for almost half of the banks and companies. Companies and banks with 3 or more women on board realized enhancements in the Egyptian exchange, the banking sector, and the non-banking financial sector, with the highest incline observed in the banking sector. The non-banking financial sector had the highest number of companies, with 30% or more women on board, compared to the other categories, whereby 34% of total non-banking financial sector companies successfully complied with the 30% goal in 2023, with 227 companies. The annual gap in the number of women on boards to reach the 30% goal followed a declining trend from 113 women in 2019 to 65 women in 2023, reflecting the commitment of companies and banks to meet the strategy goal. 23 in the Egyptian exchange, 5 in the banking sector, 10 in the public enterprise sector, and 27 in the non-banking financial sector need to be added to their boards to achieve the 30% women on boards. Egypt Women on Boards Observatory, founded in 2017 by the AUC School of Business, is recognized as a specialized observatory within the National Council for Women framework. It aims to increase the representation of women on boards in Egypt to 30% by 2030. The observatory experience can be shared regionally and internationally to help countries create similar consortia relevant to their context. The observatory received the 2022 Innovations That Inspire Award from the Association to Advance Collegiate Schools of Business, AACSB, and the AMBA and BGA Excellence Awards 2022-23 from the Association of MBAs and Business Graduates Association. Partners of the observatory bring together government, business associations, research institutions, international organizations, non-government organizations, and regional and national networks. We are particularly proud of AUC Egypt Women on Boards Observatory partners. Their unique partnership and cooperation resulted in a broad coverage of the major business sectors where women are on boards and providing enough information for research and the database. The Egyptian Board Ready Women Database hosts over 1,074 qualified candidates with diverse areas of expertise and educational backgrounds, working in 26 different economic sectors, following the OECD sector classification. Candidates and skilled women can join this database by completing an online membership form. Egypt Women on Boards Observatory offers free board placement service to support companies and banks in realizing the benefits of increased diversity and inclusion. Companies fill out an online board placement request form to receive this service. Our message today is to coordinate our efforts to reach targeted goals. We encourage champion executives to foster gender diversity and sponsor women to leading positions within their companies and banks. Imagine this: a world where businesses thrive, not despite diversity, but because of it. It's a world where every voice is heard, every talent nurtured, and every opportunity equal. Now, let's turn that vision into reality. One woman is a token. 2 is presence. 3 is voice.